And Your Honor, that's very important to our case, as the court is potentially aware. KC has been discussed several times as a critical witness in this case. This is alleged to be part of this retaliation type of information that's going on, according to the indictment, between persons who are charged and on trial, and persons who are charged and not on trial. And KC has been alerted as a prosecution witness, and this would be Brady evidence, Your Honor. And it's my understanding that KC was never charged with that crime, so that would be potential Brady evidence, Your Honor. We'd like any type of information, and especially I'd like the witnesses to back up the statement on there that suspects have identified KC as the shooter. That's the motion.
Well, D2 is admitted for purposes of your inquiry and motion. So what's the state's position on that? Is that part of your discovery that's already been given?
So yes, it's our position that we turned over as part of discovery the interviews with witnesses that may have implied or alluded to KC having been the one that did that. I reached out as I was speaking to Mr. Steele during the break, and he made clear what it was that he was seeking. I reached out to the detective that produced the document that Mr. Steele proffered just now, and his response to me was that it was through interviews with KC and another defendant in this case that they determined who did it. But my last question to him, I texted just as Mr. Steele was up talking, which is, did anyone explicitly say he did it? Because our position is that the reason that KC was never arrested for that was that they never had anyone who saw him do that. Never had that type of evidence.
All right. So, and has that been answered in a negative as from your inquiry from the detective?
It has not been answered in the negative. The response was simply that it would have been, the information would have been in the interviews that we turned over to KC with respect to KC, or the interview that we had turned over with respect to another defendant in this case.
So there's, I'm sorry to interrupt you. Is there any other, I guess, documentary or witness substantiation that has otherwise not been tendered at this point?
No, and I can say that because the last round of discovery that's turned over, the discovery that I personally compiled that was intended to respond to requests from the defendants for information not specifically on this case, but that sort of surrounded this case that related to witnesses. And I put that together myself, so I know that I did turn it over.
Okay. Mr. Steele, it looks like that you should have everything as related to discovery number 6. Of course, the state would have a continuing obligation to supplement, but for your initial inquiry, does that satisfy that, sir?
Potentially, can I inquire the court to see if the state would mind who is that detective that prepared that, has that information that's texting?
Dennis. Former detective Dennis.
I'm sorry?
Dennis. Dennis.
And may I ask for the initials of the other person identified as a separate interview that we were given?
DG.
That's satisfied.
Okay. All right, sir. Thank you. All right. The next motion on your chart is motion to exclude other accused specific offense that underlies the same as prejudicial to a joint trial to Mr. Williams. And that was filed on 3/15/23.
And then, Your Honor, can we group that supplement motion, which will be filed on 3/23/23. And it's called supplemental motion to exclude other accused, possibly a specific offense that underlies.
Yes, sir.
You see that? Okay.
Yes, sir.
And they're the same. I just added paragraph 7. So if you just look at the motion, just look at the supplement. The supplement will incorporate for everybody the original motion, and then it just says paragraph 7.
Okay. All right, sir.
That particular motion, we would ask to be allowed to argue that on the 6th, whatever day or designate.
Yes, ma'am. Okay. Mr. Steele, do you have any input on that? You want to wait till the 6th? I mean, I've got a couple of things I can probably take up, so I can wait till the 6th is fine. Or we can set a date on the 6th. Let's see if we can, well, let me see right now. Let's see what the 6th is looking like.
Your Honor, if it helps the state, if they need more time, I can make my argument now. They can reserve if they need more time. I'm not trying. You can have all the time you want. That's fine.
Yeah. I'm tracking a lot of stuff, so let's just wait. Let's just
Okay.
keep it simpler to keep it together.
All right. Can I just have a moment then?
Sure, absolutely, absolutely, sir.
So we're deferring this till the 6th around,
Yes.
or you'll give us the date.
Yes, sir.
I'll be right back.
Yes, sir.
May I speak from here just for a minute?
Sure, absolutely.
Okay, unless the court tells me differently, I have a motion for discovery number 7 to satisfy.
Okay, that's next. That's 3. That was filed on 3/15 of 2023.
Correct.
All right.
The next one, Your Honor, is, unless you tell it differently, is motion for discovery number 8, also filed.
That's correct, sir.
Your Honor, I've spoken with the Honorable Ms. Love during the break, and this motion that Mr. Williams filed requests a video, maybe audio, but I believe video, that we pulled out of the discovery. Detective Dennis, former Detective Dennis from the City of Atlanta Police Department, or other members, I don't want to limit it to him. They possess a video, I believe, on January 6, 2015, Club Crucial, which is CRUCIAL.
January 6th of what day? I'm sorry.
2015.
Okay.
Involving KC flashing money and fighting. And I don't have that now. Now, I was told that this was given, and Prosecutor Smith is always, as I told the court several times in his absence, always nothing but wonderful to deal with and teaching. I was told that this was in, God bless you. I was told this was in Discovery 12. I don't believe I have it. I've been through Discovery 12, which is the last discovery load, which we had maybe a month ago, 3 weeks ago, something like that. I don't believe I have it. the state says it is in there. If they could just point me to it again. Prosecutor Smith is shaking his head yes. That would be great. And if it's not in there, that's great, and I'd like to have it. So that's the whole motion.
Mr. Smith, do you think you could provide, or Ms. Love, do you think you could provide that and, or at least point to that? And I could just make sure it's satisfied on this, so either next, well, by the 6th.
John, I want to be clear, we did facts, so it's absolutely correct. We spoke about that video during the break. What I said was that I believe we have video of a fight at Club Crucial. I'm not certain that it was the January 6th fight. And actually, more specifically, I said we have video of the person who was referred in the motion flashing money at a club, sort of a disruption happening shortly thereafter. But I cannot say with certainty that it is the January 6th incident. And whichever one it is, one, we will make sure that we point to it and the records will give attention to it. And two, if it is in fact the case that it is not January the 6th, then we don't have the January the 6th.
Okay, so can we look and then clarify if necessary, and I just get a status or satisfaction statement on the 6th?
Yes, absolutely.
Okay, all right. Okay, all right. What's that? Did you file the motion?
Well, no,
Why are you asking for clarification on something you didn't file?
well, because I think Mr. Steele had filed.
What does he want to ask the clarification on?
Is the state saying that it is in Discovery 12?
What I'm saying is that I believe that there is a video of the witness to whom Mr. Steele is referring at Club Crucial Flag. But I cannot state with certainty it is on January 6th.
No, I get all that. But you're saying that video is in Discovery 12?
The video of the flashing of
Right.
It's been served in Discovery. I
Okay.
don't know if that was Mr. Smith saying it was in 12 versus something previous, but to the extent that it wasn't given before 12, it's in 12 now. It wasn't given before 12.
Thank you, Judge.
You're welcome, sir. All right, motion limiting number 4, Mr. Steele.
Sir.
And sir, I have that being filed on 3/15 of 2023. And it references, from looking at the motion, which I have a copy of, statements during a traffic stop, and said statements captured on audio and video, police camera on or about September the 24th of 2017.
It's all accurate. So what happened, Your Honor, September 24th, 2017, Mr. Williams is with two other people, Mr. Jones and Mr. Kitchens. Mr. Kitchens is a co-indictee who resolved his case before this honorable court, is not on trial. The three of them are in a car. Mr. Williams is going to DeKalb Peachtree Airport to take a private plane along with the other two gentlemen to New York. He is performing at the Jimmy Fallon show that evening. He is stopped by, again, the same officer you've heard, the Brookhaven police officer, Fikes, Fikes, and ordered out of the car. He's in handcuffs along with the other two gentlemen. Car is searched. Law enforcement officers are asking questions of Mr. Williams and the other parties without Miranda. I litigated this case before the Honorable Chief Judge Adams in DeKalb County.
Gregory Adams.
Yes, sir.
Gregory A. Adams.
That is all true.
All right, okay.
You've been in his courtroom. And
Yes.
and he suppressed, he granted a motion to suppress. So everything was suppressed from an illegal stop. During that, I also challenged the statements because they were not Mirandized. The state in DeKalb County, on behalf of the state of Georgia, said, we agree, we're not going to use any statements, but the state appealed successfully the granting of the items in the car. And the items in the car are going to be drugs and guns. And they're a subject of a pending indictment in DeKalb County. So what I did here, Your Honor, with the court, you will see I attached the Court of Appeals opinion in State versus Williams, and it is case number A19A 1893, and it was decided March 12th, 2020. And if you look at page 5, if you have the opinion of it, I could give it to the court. The court wrote in the footnote 3, the officer placed all 3 men on the curb, at which time they were in custody before the suspects were advised of their rights pursuant to Miranda versus Arizona, giving the case cite from 1966. The officer directed questions to them regarding their ownership of various items found in the Mercedes. The driver and Jones responded to some of the questions. The statements are not relevant to our review of the trial court's ruling on the motion to suppress, and the state advised during the hearing that it did not seek to introduce any of those statements in light of the officer's failure to Mirandize the suspects. So what I did, Your Honor, was I don't want any of Mr. Williams' statements to come into your case. I filed a motion to suppress, to have an evidentiary hearing, which I know court said we're not doing witnesses, on this topic if I need to. But those are the facts. Those are facts already litigated. And I would hope that it's one state of Georgia. I understand it's in a different county, but there's only one original colony, one state of Georgia, and the representations of those district attorneys, I believe, should bind the district attorneys here not to use those statements. If they disagree, I will just, and if the court disagrees, I will stand on my objection and then ask the court to hold an evidentiary hearing. I am not claiming it's law of the case because it was not appealed, but it's between the same parties. It's Mr. Williams and the state of Georgia on the same issue. But if we need to have a hearing, that's fine. But I don't want to waive my objection. I believe it's already decided and conceded.
Okay.
So that's my issue.
Ms. Love or, yes, Mr. Yahowski.
Just to provide a little additional context, I believe this was already stated, but this motion in limine number 4 was, I believe, part and parcel of the motion to suppress number 8, and I can be corrected if that's not the case. And so there's the motion in limine, which itself is asking for the court to find that the issue of the legality of the stop is already established as a final judgment. I'm here I can respond to that today. But when it comes to the motion to suppress the statements flowing from that stop, that's going to be something involving witnesses that we would not be able to reach at this time. But I'm prepared to address the motion in limine with regard to collateral estoppel and with regard to the Mr. Steele's belief that the statements at the motion to suppress hearing by the prosecutors somehow prevent us from presenting Your Honor with these statements.
One of my colleagues from DeKalb has already decided that issue. So why would I want to relitigate it?
Exactly. I mean, so what was decided was that the trial court granted the motion to suppress based on the legality of the stop.
Yeah, Judge Adams, Judge Gregory A. Adams, in fact, granted that motion. So, and it wasn't appealed by the district attorney's office in DeKalb.
It was
It was not appealed. It was not appealed. That's what Mr. Steele has in his motion.
well.
Okay, but they did, in fact, but the suppression of the statements were conceded by the DeKalb County District Attorney's Office in an unreported opinion. That's the one that Mr. Steele just mentioned. So they must appeal something. Mr. Steele, what did DeKalb appeal?
So I lost the Honorable
Gregory A. Adams granted the motion to suppress the stop of the car that got rid of the guns and the drugs. That was appealed. The prosecution conceded and did not appeal the Miranda issue on the statement. That's in footnote 3 of the Court of Appeals opinion that I attached.
The Court of Appeals agree with Judge Adams or reverse him?
I lost.
You lost. Okay, so they were able to use those particular instrumentalities,
But not the statement.
not the statements.
Or-
Okay, so
I'm just challenging the statement. I'm not challenging.
you're not challenging the drugs or guns.
Because I believe it's law of the case. It's the same.
I would agree. I would agree. So, your colleagues in the cab conceded the statements. So why would I want to relitigate that?
They conceded the statements. If you look at the transcript of the motion to suppress, which we're going to attach as an exhibit to the response to that motion to suppress, you're going to see, Your Honor, that they did agree that the statements prior to being Mirandized they would not seek to introduce them. But the prosecutor argued at length and specifically that the statements that counted as spontaneous utterances, and there were several of those, that would not have been subject to suppression, even if the appeals court hadn't reversed the trial court's grant of the motion to suppress. So the stop was lawful. That's established. The appeals court said that the stop was lawful. And so there's a footnote that mentions the fact that some officers posed some questions, and that was correctly pointed out by Mr. Steele, that I forget what page it's on here, maybe page 5. Yeah, page 5 of the Court of Appeals opinion does say what Mr. Steele says it says. But I'll note that it says the officer directed some questions regarding ownership of various items found in the Mercedes. Of note, it says the driver and Jones responded to some of the questions. The driver was not Mr. Williams. But the Court of Appeals never said Mr. Williams even responded to any questions posed by law enforcement. All right, and so all that's been litigated is the legality of the stop. Trial court said it was illegal based on they didn't like the tint argument. Appeals court said no, tint argument works. We're reversing the trial court, and that's still pending. And so the legality of the stop is already established, and res judicata applies, just not in the way that Mr. Williams is arguing in this particular motion. We can use res judicata to say we don't even have to argue the legality of the stop right now because that's been established to be lawful. Now the question then becomes, well, what about the statements that follow and the Miranda warnings or lack thereof? Now Sergeant Martin did eventually Mirandize Mr. Williams during this stop, and Mr. Williams did make statements that we want to seek admission of. And even before the Miranda warnings that Mr. Williams received, there were several spontaneous utterances that were not prompted by any law enforcement questioning. And this is going to be a proffer at the moment because we don't have these witnesses. We're going to need Officer Fikes. We're going to need Officer Lateef. We're going to need Sergeant Martin. And there's going to be video evidence. And we're going to file a response to this motion to suppress number 8 today on this issue. But on the issue of whether the entirety of this stop is automatically thrown out when the trial court was reversed, saying that it was illegal, that strains.
I don't think that's Mr. Steele's argument, and I understand that. Court of Appeals already distinguished that. The issue for me is the statements. So
I can address that. I will argue that looking at the motion to suppress transcript, which we will file as an exhibit to the motion to suppress response, they did not concede that any of the statements we seek to admit were inadmissible. They specifically said, and pardon my looking at this for just a moment here. Okay, so yeah, the state's not bound in this case by any purported statements by the CAB DA regarding the admissibility of evidence flowing from this lawful stop. I noticed just now an argument that Mr. Williams said he believes that it should be. He didn't cite any law or statute in support of this proposition. I'm not aware of any. And in any event, Your Honor, the contrary is true. The DeKalb District Attorney never agreed that all the statements made by Williams, and the Court of Appeals also didn't say all. They didn't even say Mr. Williams made any statements in response. The prosecutors in DeKalb said that, yeah, we know there's a problem with the Miranda coming in later than we would want, but we're not going to introduce any of those statements. However, they did argue, Your Honor, at length and with specificity that there were spontaneous voluntary utterances made following the stop by Mr. Williams. One of them having to do with him spontaneously saying, "That's my money in that bag that just got pulled out." That was a spontaneous statement not made in response to any law enforcement questioning. The prosecutors in DeKalb argued for its admissibility. They did not concede that. You can check the transcripts. You can check the Court of Appeals. That's not decided yet. Your Honor, you're fully authorized to look at those, Your Honor. And then another one, in addition, just specifically, the DeKalb prosecutor also specifically argued for the admission of the conversation that took place between Williams and Jones as they were on the curb, where Williams asked Jones, "Why would you tell him that my bag is your bag?" That's not a question that the law enforcement posed to either of those gentlemen. That's a spontaneous declaration. You don't need Miranda to get that in. And we're going to argue that, and we still are entitled to argue that. And finally, the DeKalb prosecutors also argued for the admission of a question that contained a statement, which was when Mr. Williams was in the back of Officer Lateef, who arrived later. He was in the back of Lateef's patrol car, and he asked Officer Lateef, "Hey, did you put my bag in the car? Did you leave my bag in the car?" It's a question, but it contains the statement, "That's my bag," right? So these statements are voluntary statements. They're spontaneous utterances. You do not need Miranda to admit those, or at least present those to Your Honor for consideration of admissibility. And then the very last statement, and this is after Mr. Williams was Mirandized by Sergeant Martin, was to do with the stolen gun that's the subject of Overt Act 68, I believe. When he was Mirandized, he kept on talking to Sergeant Martin, and he was asked, "How long have you had this stolen gun? Where'd you get it?" He said, "I don't know. I've had it for a while." The prosecutor in DeKalb fully and specifically addressed that those were admissible statements under either spontaneous utterance in the absence of Miranda, or when someone was Mirandized and then they kept on speaking to officers and waived their Miranda. So we want to be able to present those to Your Honor for consideration, and we don't want to say that anybody's conceded anything, because they haven't. And certainly the decision by the Court of Appeals doesn't preclude us from arguing that to Your Honor. And the footnote, again, doesn't even say that Mr. Williams responded to any statements posed by law enforcement in that footnote.
Well, the footnote kind of just says that it's footnote 3, and it talks about, it reads as follows: the officer placed all 3 men on the curb, at which time they are in custody. Before the suspects were advised of their rights pursuant to Miranda versus Arizona, citation 384 U.S. 436, 1966, the officer directed questions to them regarding their ownership of the various items found in the Mercedes. The driver and Jones responded to some of these questions. These statements are not relevant for our review of the trial court's ruling on the motion to suppress, and the state advised during the hearing that it did not seek to introduce any of those statements in light of the officer's failure to Mirandize the suspects. So,
And if I may, Your Honor, my reading of that last language that you quoted, it says that the statements are not relevant to our review. So that's not an issue that's reached.
but here's the critical part. The officer placed 3 men on the curb each time they're in custody. They're in custody, Miranda applies. If Miranda applies, then the subsequent statements that you make would be subject to being suppressed. And that's a footnote that's in the Court of Appeals decision, this particular circumstance. I don't know how you get around that.
Yeah.
So,
If I may, with the court's indulgence, having listened to the body camera and watched the body camera footage of the arrest, I'm going to encapsulate what Mr. Uhelski just said to the court. The matter of the defendant's spontaneous utterances, which utterances are not statements.
when did they occur? Did they occur before the time period of the custodial determination or after?
The defendant was placed in custody, and as with any defendant who has been detained, if they say things that are not in response to a question to them, anywhere in the universe, if nobody is talking to them and they spontaneously shout something akin to, I shot him, but he shot me first, without being asked any questions, even though they are handcuffed and in custody, those statements that they make are spontaneous utterances, which are not statements that are subject to Miranda. They were not being asked any questions. At the time that Mr. Williams made the statements that he made specifically, they were talking to another of the persons on scene. They were actually asking, or another person on scene had said that that was his bag that they were looking at. So their focus was on the other person on scene. And as Mr. Williams sat a few feet away on the curb from the officer who was asking the other person, the other detainee questions, Mr. Williams inserted himself into that conversation and said, that's my money. And then asked that same person later on, why'd you tell them that that was yours? So he's not even talking, one, in response to anything being asked of him, and two, he's not even talking to the officers at the time that he is speaking to the person on scene that claimed the bag. So the point of the argument that the state has right now is that the spontaneous utterances made by defendant Williams after he was placed in custody or detained, they are not subject to suppression because of any violation of Miranda, because they were not statements made in response to any law enforcement inquiry after he had been placed in custody. And therefore, that matter was never reached by any court. The trial court suppressed the stop. So the trial court never even addressed the prosecutor's arguments that I'm making to the court now, which were, these were spontaneous utterances. These come in regardless. They're not statements made in violation of Miranda.
You're not seeking to use those. You're seeking to use statements against interest.
Statements against interest that were spontaneously made, not in
How many of
response
those
to
are there? Have you parsed those out?
There are at least two, and Mr. Uhelski has identified the main two, the comment that that's my money in the bag, and the comment to the person on scene that why did you tell them that that was your bag? So those are the two.
Okay. Mr. Steele, how would you respond to that in terms of, I see I've pulled up the unofficial opinion of State versus Williams that you have cited in A1893. That's where I've gotten this information from. But it seems like the state's seeking to introduce statements against interest, or spontaneous utterances, I should say.
Yes, sir.
Those two statements in particular, because it appeared to me from the opinion that the Court of Appeals is indicating that custody did occur, and that but they said that those statements were not relevant to their review of the trial court's ruling on motion to suppress. Exactly what you told me earlier.
Yeah. I don't think it's much different than what I said. Can I just have 1 second?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So I think we're saying give me 1 second, I apologize. Okay. So, Your Honor, this is on, if you're getting the transcript, if you just take a note, this is on page 73 at the bottom, going into 74 of the motion to suppress transcript that I had the honor of representing Mr. Williams before the Honorable DeKalb County Chief Judge Gregory A. Adams. And Judge Adams said this, starting at line 25 on page 73. And let me do this, lawyers and parties, I'm going to take this matter under advisement. We don't need to go forth with any other part of the hearing at this point in time. This is all we need to do for today, and I will issue a ruling. And I know the officers have remained. Let's talk about the officers who testified, the Brookhaven police officers.
Yes, sir.
Don't know what I'm ultimately going to rule, but let me put Brookhaven officers on notice. You definitely need to make sure you explain someone's constitutional rights in detail. And I fully understand when you're on the road, you have to make quick decisions, but it does raise some concerns on whether or not someone fully and truly understands what they've advised in that particular situation. I'm not finding fault. I fully understand everyone is a human being, but I'm obligated to follow the law. And it's not just the results of the search that led up to all of these things. Let me put the state on notice. It's going to be close. Let me make sure everybody knows that. And then the state said we're conceding the Miranda issues. It was not appealed before that. That was the DA. So that's all I'm asking. If the state can show that something is spontaneous, that's a different color. That's not covered by an in-custodial statement that is due to interrogation. But all my motion is that I don't have to go through another hearing, which was already decided and not appealed between the same parties, which is the state of Georgia, DeKalb County District Attorney's Office representing them, and Mr. Jeffrey Williams, who's here before this honorable court. That was my motion.
Okay. Mr. Yohelski and Ms. Love, can we identify those two particular statements and put those in some so that we know exactly what from that particular incident date that you're going to use or proffer as statements against interest or spontaneous utterances?
We certainly can, Your Honor, and we can take those statements out, isolate them, provide them to the court and to Mr. Steele, and given the opportunity to do so, we will play the entire body camera video in support of our position that those statements are in fact spontaneous utterances, that they were not made in response to any inquiry by law enforcement. They were not made in violation of Miranda, and the issue of if there was any contention on the part of Mr. Steele during that hearing that those statements were not spontaneous utterances, the court never heard that argument by Mr. Steele, and the court never reached that point that the state was making in that case, that there are spontaneous utterances that we want to introduce that are not subject to any Miranda inquiry. And because the trial court never reached that issue, Mr. Steele never argued that the statements were not spontaneous utterances. That issue was never litigated. It certainly was never conceded. And that's apparent from the transcript itself, where the state then argued exactly as we are now. These are spontaneous utterances. They are statements against his own interest that the defendant is making. We are entitled to introduce them.
I don't have any disagreement about that, Ms. Love. I just think that you just need to if that's the case, then if Mr. Steele concedes that on behalf of Mr. Williams, or I have to look at that and it's from that particular body cam video or incident, then I would consider that. But what I won't do is I think the Court of Appeals has already been very clear with the fact that about the statements, they're in custody. So I won't consider any custodial statements consistent with the ruling of my brother, Mr. Chief Judge Gregory A. Adams of the Stone Mountain Judicial Circuit. So,
and as they relate to statements that were made in custody, any response to an inquiry by a law enforcement officer that was made prior to the defendant being Mirandized, we too would be of the opinion that without some other avenue for getting it in.
And I would would advise you to, accordingly as advocates, to advise your witnesses accordingly. Okay, because I'm just, yeah, okay, but I'll, yes, ma'am, go ahead, I'm sorry.
I was simply going to say that as I stand here today, I can state with almost 100% certainty that there are no statements that were made in response to any inquiry by any law enforcement officer prior to Mr. Williams being Mirandized that we are trying to introduce as evidence.
Okay, let's just make sure that we are very clear with our witnesses, that, because I would hate for your witness to testify and then not get into something that I clearly is not appropriate. Okay, so just make sure that you are clear with your witnesses in terms of, okay, these statements don't come in. If they exist at all, I mean, but and that's why, checking with your witnesses, especially due to the passage of time, people's memories conflate. So if you could just parse them out, make sure that they know exactly what they're able to testify to.
Of course.
All right, so we'll check on the 6th. Mr. Steele, is that acceptable, sir?
Yes, sir. So
I'm going to defer ruling on that basically until I hear something on this, until the statements are identified and you get a chance to weigh in on that. Okay.
yeah, yes, absolutely.
Okay. All right. Okay. The next I have is motion in limine number 12, Mr. Steele, filed on 3/15 of 2023. Now, apparently this involves a incident from April the 14th of 2015 or thereabouts.
Yes, sir.
You can fill in
So,
what you need to, sir.
yes, sir. So Mr. Williams is taking his first national tour. Around that time, he's touring with a gentleman named Mr. Travis Scott, and he is in the state of Louisiana. And there is, in Served Discovery, there is a video which we're objecting to coming in, but there's a video where it says Mr. Williams allegedly saying something in a supposed, and I'm not conceding, it's threatening manner to another gentleman. His name is Dwayne Carter. He is a performer known as Little Wayne. In the top, in the discovery we received, Your Honor, in the top of that Instagram message allegedly sent by Mr. Williams, somebody else wrote a commentary, says, "Young Thug threatens Little Wayne." I am challenging that that social media post doesn't come in at all, but I am definitely asking the Honorable Court to order that anybody else who manipulates the social media, unless they could show it was Mr. Williams' words, be removed. And it gives a caption, "Young Thug threatens Little Wayne," and then it went on all these billboard sites and other music-related sites. And that's what the state served to me. So I just want it to be struck and not shown to the jury, because that would be hearsay and somebody else's belief on what this video is. And the jurors could come, if they see this video, they could come to their own conclusion.
Okay, counsels for the state. Mr. Elsey.
Actually, I have one thing.
Oh, yes, Mr. Steele.
I apologize.
Also in paragraph 3, I just gave an example on that April 14, 2015 video,
Sir.
where Mr. Williams was depicting his upcoming show in Holly Grove, which is one word, HOLLYGROVE, Louisiana. But, Your Honor, can I ask the court to order the prosecution to share with Mr. Williams, and I assume everybody else, with their exhibits and charts, anything that they anticipate that they want to show to the jury? I know we received a lot in discovery, but anything that they want to show the jury to make sure that issues like this don't have to come up, and then I would have to ask the Honorable Court to consider having the jurors removed, so all of their charts and exhibits be shown well before trial.
Why don't you particularize that? I don't have any issue with it, but add it as a motion in limine so I can go ahead and rule upon it. So that
I did. It's in paragraph 3 of the same motion. I wrote, Mr. Williams also wishes for this honorable court to order the prosecution.
I got it. Okay, it's paragraph number 3. All right,
So I just wanted to raise that. Too. Thank you, sir.
all right. Yes, Mr. Uhelski.
It's Mr. Yudowski and Ms. Love, Your Honor.
Okay, all
Um,
right, Ms. Love.
Thank you, Judge. As it relates to the
Words.
words articulate, well, if it's only the words that Mr. Williams is opposing and he is not seeking to have the video tossed out or anything like that, we'd make 2 arguments. One, the video itself with the caption, Young Thug threatens Lil Wayne. If there is a rule of completeness argument to be made, it's there. But if the court does not agree with the state's position regarding the rule of completeness, we can take out the words Young Thug threatens Lil Wayne, as they are the caption made by the person posting the video. But the video itself, we definitely intend to seek to introduce as.
Are you going to have Dwayne Carter testify about the circumstances of this reported video?
Well, Wayne Carter didn't make the video.
I know. Okay. All right. I just asked you that question. So how's it coming in then?
Your Honor, it's a video of the defendant that portrays the defendant. It's his own words. It's statements of a party opponent and it's statements against his own interests. He's threatening Lil Wayne. I mean, the caption itself, the words, and I believe that the only thing that they're seeking to have not shown to the jury are the words, the caption. So to the extent that they are seeking to suppress or not have shown to the jury the video itself is the defendant in his own words.
I think Mr. Steele is just asking for the words.
The words.
Is that correct, sir?
On this motion, that's right.
Yes. So he's just asking for the words. He's not asking you to suppress the rest of the video.
I think that's correct.
Thank you, ma'am.
And so the words, Your Honor, to the extent that the words are those of someone else other than the defendant, we don't have any problem taking those words, the caption, the
All right.
written words out.
I'll order that the caption be, or the video be edited to remove those words in quotation marks, Young Thug threatens Lil Wayne, close quotation marks. Other than that, if you can lay the foundation for the video, then I'll take that up accordingly at the time it's sought to be entered. Okay.
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, Mr. Steele.
Video and other, I'm sorry, may I speak?
I was just going to say, can you draw an order to that effect?
And then, that video is challenged in our motion that Alpha Court said will take up another time. Putting lyrics, social media postings, videos, and the like. So I just want you to know, different motion, but this motion I appreciate.
Does this video appear as part of that particular inquiry?
Yes.
And I'll take that up on a separate basis. Okay.
And then.
And you can have that ordered to me by the 6th. That would be fine.
I will do it.
Okay. All right. 6th of September. All right.
Paragraph 3, did you deal with that about ordering the prosecution to share with us?
No, I haven't. Ms. Love, do you have any objection to that? I mean, in terms of closer to trial, can you provide, or before each witnesses, can you provide?
Right before the witness, we do not want to divulge,
Right.
the trial strategy, but prior to us seeking to, what we can do is the day before, or a couple of days before we anticipate introducing or seeking to introduce evidence, we can show counsels for the defendants what it is that we seek to introduce, and if it's in the form of media, hard copies, and if they have any objection to that, we can discuss and bring up with the court prior to it being tendered in front of the jury.
Yeah, because here's my, and I'm okay with that, but here's my concern. Sooner rather than later, because what I don't want to do is to inconvenience our jurors who are going to already feel probably like yo-yos going in and out. So I'd like them to have as much of a streamlined presentation as they can. It looks better for all of you and for us as a whole. But I mean, I understand things come up, but to the extent that you all can kind of iron that stuff out, beforehand. And I can schedule them accordingly, but let's just not kind of, because what I don't want to do is take a day to iron out this stuff and then we don't get to them or they're sitting there. And then we got to come back the next day and they're hearing testimony and they're already annoyed. So if you all, to the extent you can provide them far in advance, certainly within, the couple of 3 days prior to that, and I can take that up if necessary, either at the end of the day or whatever, or before the day comes and I can plan on that, then that scheduling will be a lot more smoother for everybody.
That would be the most optimal circumstance for the state as well, Judge. So we will certainly endeavor to, before we put up anything that we think is objectionable, simply just show Council President Bennett what it is we intend to put up in the next few days. But we're just asking that the court not require the state to reveal the trial strategy with the listing of exhibits and order and all of that.
All right.
At this stage.
Mr. Steele, you can augment that order just to memorialize what I've stated already, okay?
Yes, sir. Can I ask the court to consider something a little further on that? Okay.
If you give a mouse a cookie. All right, let's see what we got.
I'm trying to get,
Let's see what we got.
actually, I haven't eaten a cookie.
In decades. Your Honor,
Your colleagues are like, you poor man, but okay.
I give it to them. They like it.
But other than that, okay. So, all right. What are you trying to ask me, sir?
So previously, and please tell me if your position changed, but previously the parties agreed, and I put on the record that the Friday before, or each Friday, they would tell us which witnesses they expect to call the following week. Could the order say that they would also give us, it might have, I asked them to go sooner, but I don't want to go back on my word, their charts and exhibits. So this way, and that's the reason I filed a lot of these, so that we don't have to have the jury come in at 10, and then, I'm coming before this honorable court and saying, I need a hearing on this, 3 exhibits for the following reasons, and then you saying, that's great, why didn't you bring this to me earlier? And I say, I didn't know about it till Friday. So at least by Friday, so we could alert the court that we have motions. But that's what I would like, assuming that my memory is good and you're still agreeing that we will get the witnesses. Can we also have the witnesses and what comes with the witnesses, charts and exhibits, at least the Friday before?
So, to the extent that we obligated ourselves with respect to getting witnesses, we're not backing away from any previous obligations. But I am just asking the court, is that the court not require that the Friday before we turn over this, that, and the other? I would ask the court require, as the court said, or at least allow us to provide to counsel for the defendants 2 or 3 days in advance a set of exhibits. And if there's any exhibit that we believe will be hotly contested, we can certainly give it far further in advance than 2 or 3 days. But I'm just asking that the court not require us to every Friday turn over a list for the following Monday.
All right, Mr. Steele, I'll do it 3 days prior to the calling of that witness. And then what I'll do, counsels, as well is, I'm relying upon you all letting the court know the difference in scheduling. If I can tell our jurors, okay, hey, listen, we have other unrelated business to take up, and you don't need to appear till X date. But I want to kind of minimize that as much as I can. So you're helping the court out by letting me know what you've got to do and how long it's going to take before I schedule our jurors. Would be greatly appreciated.
Okay.
And
So,
that's not to chop up the presentation as well.
so in this order, can I put the Friday, the witness list by Friday, if not earlier, but for the next week, and then 3 days before, or 2 days, or you want it 2 or 3 days
Let's do
before?
3 days.
Okay.
And I just want to make sure, I don't know, go back over what I said. I'm not saying we didn't say it, but as far as this particular order, Your Honor, I would ask this particular order only address the exhibits and not address what obligations we have made with respect to this witness.
Okay, I tell you what, then 12 will just do the witness. I will ask that you all prepare as another motion in limine, which I'll just acknowledge right now. We'll just pull out paragraph number 3, and it will just say presentation of witnesses and potential evidence. You can style it that way, Mr. Steele, and you can put that you'll agree on the Friday before each week, trial week, you'll provide what witnesses you're gonna call, you anticipate calling, and 3 days prior to their being called, that at least 3 days prior, that you provide any and all documentary, video, or other evidence sufficient, so that if there are any objections or any further rulings that need to be made by the court, that I can make those.
Thank you. And Your Honor, with that also, that providing of the witnesses, will that be subject to the availability or things that come up?
Yeah, it'll be subject to availability. It'll be subject to availability, but I understand if you change your witnesses, you have a continuing obligation to sui sponte update that witness list.
That works. Thank you.
Okay. All right, Mr. Steele, you got that?
I think so.
Okay.
Can I, be off the record, but in the court, where I'm staying for, can you just give me that, those different? Great. Thank you, Your Honor.
You're welcome. All right, folks, I understand that lunch is available. Mr. Steele, if there's nothing else with number 12, if you could prepare that order by the 6th of September, float that to Ms. Love and her colleagues prior to that, that would be wonderful.
I will do it.
Okay, councils, let's do this. It's let's come back at 5 after 2, and then we'll take up a little bit more, and we'll call this. I'd like to take up a little bit more and maybe recess us around 3 o'clock today, and then I can kind of let you know about tomorrow and our time period, our time together tomorrow. Okay. All right. So we're in recess until 5 after 2.
Nah, it wasn't no smoke break, man. Yo, it's your boy Marita Boy. I'm back up in this thing, man. Listen. We watching, I think it's day 3 of Young Thug YSL motions hearing. It's a lot going on with this case, y'all. To be honest with you, I ain't been paying attention to this case like that. But since it's coming up, since it's law and crime, that's all. That's my new station, y'all. You know what I'm about? You know what I mean? Says, law and crime got it on here. I figured shit, we might as well, try to learn as much as possible, You know what I'm saying? Before it actually goes to trial. But I'm gonna say this, y'all. This is just my opinion. I ain't no lawyer or nothing like that. But I'm gonna tell you something, man. They trying to bury Thug, y'all. I mean, with all of this stuff going on, man. I'm like, who that was? That was you yesterday, Ashley, saying you don't even know who all the defendants is and all that. I don't either. I don't know either. I don't know none of these dudes, man. I just know Woody, the dude that was snitching, the snitch killer. You know what I'm saying? I know Oomfunk, who name sound like some toe jam. Oomfunk. You know what I'm talking about? You got that Oomfunk. You know what I'm saying? That's his brother. And I know Thug. That's it. And I know Gunna, you know what I'm saying? Bit the cheese, and he home now with the #1 album in the country. You know what I'm saying? But as far as like the rest of these guys, I know one of them went with a police lady. You know what I'm saying? And he shot a police, but I couldn't point him out of the lineup. I don't know who he is from a can of paint. You know what I'm saying? So I'm just peeping as we go, y'all. Hopefully we'll be caught up with it by the time it starts, because it looked like it's gonna take a long time. Shout out to Dre Jones. It looked like it's gonna take a long time, because they ain't even finished picking the jury yet, dog. You know what I'm saying? It's so much political stuff tied up with this case. Fonnie Willis taking up for, you know what I'm saying, riding, spinning the block for a boyfriend, ex-boyfriend, you know what I'm saying, Nut, the guy who allegedly got killed, you know what I'm saying, goddamn, by YSL. It's just a lot, man. Wiretaps, other murders that we ain't never heard about, they trying to put on these guys. It's a lot. It's a lot. It's a lot. So we just gonna go, we gonna learn together. I don't know shit either, Ashley. I promise you I don't. Just like I was like, yeah, I know a lot about the Miller case. This shit, I don't know shit. All I know is that lady in the red dress yesterday looking like Young Thug. What you say, chick? Boom boom, my favorite. What's up, SLK? Yo, I had me 2 videos I was gonna make yesterday with my new editing skills, but I lost my damn microphone. I misplaced my damn microphone. So I got it so I can make the shit, you know, sound clear and sound better and shit. I got misplaced it some goddamn well. Maybe one of you goddamn, maybe a ghost took that motherfucker or something. I don't know. I don't know. What we at? Where we at? What this thing doing? Recess? Break? What's going on? Shout out Kenny Presto. Yo, I just got a call, Kenny. They say one of them boys on Anderson got killed around there, boy. I just got a phone call about an hour ago, boy. Yeah, say one of them young boys on Anderson got found dead. Say they got Anderson roped off around there. Yeah. I'm saying, what they on recess or something? What they got going on? You know what I'm saying? I'm telling you, they got a phone call. They say, I know the jit too. The jit that got killed. You know what I'm saying? I know the jit. Okay, so the last time I went to Puerto Rico. When I get on the plane, me and my baby mama, he on the plane. You know what I'm talking about? He went to Puerto Rico the same time as me. I say, what up? He's like, what up? You know what I'm saying? We spoke. You know what I'm saying? He on there with his little, his little piece. You know what I'm saying? And I'm on there with my little piece. And I think I bumped into him one time that weekend when I was when I was sliding around Puerto Rico. And then I ain't catch the plane. I don't think we caught the same plane back. We didn't. But I'm telling you, when I got on the plane, that nigga was on that bitch. I was like, damn, look at the coincidence. You know what I'm like, what up, bro? He like, what up? You know what I'm saying? Shit, we from pretty much the same area, you know what I mean? Shit, whatever. But yeah, they found Jit dead, dog. They found Jit dead. You know, I just got the first initial phone call, so I don't know nothing. I don't know whether it was foul play or what, but it sounds like it's foul play from what somebody's saying. That was told me. I think he was shot. Put it that way. You know what I mean? But yeah. Yeah, that's why it's wrote off. That's why all that shit wrote off. They found shit dead. Let me get my goddamn. Yo, I'm trying to see if this motherfucking thing working. Hold on. You said y'all think it's a recess? Y'all can hear me? Put a one in the chat if y'all can hear me. Put a one in the chat. Put a one in the chat if y'all can hear me. Oh yeah, appreciate it, Kenny. Say love the track with me and D Boy. Yeah, man. Appreciate it, man. Appreciate it. Appreciate it. I got a bunch of track. I got a bunch of songs with D Boy. But yeah, that was one of my favorite ones. That's the last one me and him made together. He gave it to me actually. Uh, so yeah. Okay, y'all can hear me. Yeah. But yeah, man, I just got a phone call, man. One of the little partners from the hood, they found him dead. You know what I'm saying? That's why I be trying to tell y'all, man. Listen, man. Look, man. Jay was getting him some money too, man. Jay had went to Johnny Dang, got diamonds in his mouth. From far as I know, you know, he was a cool little jit. He was getting him some money. I never know about him fucking with nobody. I never know about him. He wasn't a loud jit. He wasn't a talkative jit. He was quiet. You know what I'm saying? He had a nice little crew. They was getting a little bit of money. You know what I'm saying? This little crew. You know, they was kind of like, you know, but I don't know what happened to him, but yeah, they found him dead. Like, see, that's what I be, bro. That's what I be trying to say, dog. You know what I'm saying? Like, it could happen to you anywhere. I ain't trying to say that if you ain't indulging in shit won't happen to you. But I'm just saying, like, I would put it away. Thank God that I was blessed in order to still be here with y'all, still be here today. So I'm not looking down on nobody or judging nobody. When I say this talk, when I talk, don't get it twisted. I'm not judging nobody. I'm not looking down on nobody. I'm not looking down on the street niggas or none of that shit, dog. Nobody. I'm no better than nobody. I'm not looking down on nobody. I only be saying what I be saying because I just be trying to get some of you, some people who listen to this who might be doing what I used to do or worse or in the streets. I just be trying to get some of y'all to, you know, to stop living that life before something bad happened, bro. That's what all I be trying to do. You know what I'm saying? Like, cause I just done seen so many times where shit happen to people, dog. Like, look at this jit. Like, I know jit. You know what I'm saying? I know jit. You know what I'm saying? And he dead right now. He way younger than me. Jit might be just 30 years old. He might be 30. I don't know. He might be 30. I don't think he's 30. I think he might be like 28, 29. Somewhere up in there. He dead. He dead. He did. He was born after me and he died before me. Like, you know what I'm saying? I don't know what happened. I don't know what he did. I don't know what nothing. I'm just saying. I done seen this shit over and over and over again. Know what I'm saying? Like, bro. Nigga desensitized to all this shit, dog. You know what I'm saying? Like, nigga desensitized to this shit like a motherfucker, dog. This shit, you know what I'm saying? Like, we don't even be noticing that shit. We done seen so much death, so much violence to that shit. Just it get to the point you get kind of numb to the shit. You know what I'm saying? Like, unless it's somebody like real close to you or something like that, we just be numb to the shit. We just be like it's normal, but it ain't normal. No, know what I'm saying? Like, like the amount of death that we done seen in our lives, it's not normal. You know what I mean? Not for, like, maybe if you're living in a third world country, it's normal, but that shit ain't normal. But we done normalized it because we done lived around it so long. You know what I'm saying? Like, we feel like it's normal. We feel like the arguments, the fights, the stabbings, the shootings, the you know, about all that shit. We feel like that shit normal, but it's not really normal. It's just the environment that we came up in. It, man, like, that shit crazy, bro. That shit crazy. For real. Yeah, I think he got backdoor too, SLK. I do too. G had, yeah. Hey, G had went to Johnny Dane, bro. Like, you know, Jit was like, I'm talking about they went to Johnny Dane. Jit got dimes in his shit. Know what I'm saying? Like, I'm telling you, I'm telling you, I went to Puerto Rico 2021, Memorial Day weekend. Man, Jit was on the same plane with me, nigga. Swear to God, nigga. I was surprised like a motherfucker. Know what I'm talking about? Like, what up? Know what I'm saying? Like, for real. So, man, dog, like I ain't gonna speak on it too much. You know what I'm saying? I don't know what happened. You know what I mean? It is what it is. I just try to show y'all like that. You know what I'm saying? Shit be like, I'm telling you, like motherfuckers I be knowing be dying all the time, dog. I'm telling you, like all the time. Like I get so many goddamn phone calls, you know what I'm saying? Like, damn, you know what I'm saying? I'm talking about in the hood though, like in the hood shit though, like damn. You know what I'm saying? That was my homeboy J Money Click. J Money did, Musclehead did, um, Kojo did, and his name and Jit name E did. Then they had an uncle named Rick. Rick got killed. Rick dead. That's five. That's five motherfuckers. That's right in that little clique. That's dead already. I'm gonna do a story on J Money too, y'all. You know what I'm saying? I think I already did one, but I think I'm gonna do another one. I think I'm gonna do one on J Money too. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? To kind of break it down. You know what I'm saying? J Money and Musclehead. And I think I'm gonna do another. I think I'm gonna do one on Cornelius Page, C Murder. I'm gonna do one on Hot Dog. Oh yeah, that's the one I gotta do one on Hot Dog. That's the dude that I told you got shot in the head by his girlfriend and lived and then end up back with the same girl that shot him in the head. Like everything. I got the picture of it, bro. Listen, and nothing was wrong with the nigga. Like the nigga that get shot, it was like slow or nothing. That nigga got shot, it was like fine. I'm gonna do it. I'm laughing because if you know Hot Dog, man, Kenny know Hot Dog, Kenny knew Hot Dog. So if you knew Hot Dog, man, he was always full of life, funny guy, large than life character. You know what I'm saying? And I'm gonna do a story on, but I got the picture when him and the lady got back together after he got shot. They went to my homeboy John Boy wedding. Nigga, they were slow dragging in the middle of the floor, nigga. I'm talking about like, and the lady had just shot him in the head, cuz. I swear to God, I never seen nothing like it, bro. Can you imagine, bro? The man girlfriend shot him in the head, cuz. I'm talking about trying to kill him. I'm talking about stood over him and shot him in the head. Bow! That nigga got on the stretcher. That nigga say, I'll be back on the block within a week. On my mama, that nigga was back on the block by that next Sunday, by 7 days. Fine. Drinking gin and juice. Like nothing happened. Like my thing was, how the fuck did he know that he was gonna be okay? You got shot in the head, nigga. Like this is when he was on the stretcher. Just when he was on the stretcher, y'all. Y'all didn't understand what I'm saying. How did he know he was going to live? That nigga said, I'll be back on the block by next week. Bro, on my mama, that nigga was back on the block. We was like, bro, it was like, once I saw that, I knew that nigga was a legend. When I seen that shit, I said, this nigga's a legend. This nigga's called that shit. We thought that nigga was dead. Nigga, we was like, this nigga finna fucking die. You know what I'm saying? We thought this nigga's finna die. Man, that nigga was right back on the block. Nigga, it was so many people came over there to see this nigga. Like, they couldn't believe it. We couldn't believe it. Like, how the fuck is this nigga still alive? How is he talking to us, joking with us, his regular self? Bro, that was just the beginning. That nigga ended up motherfucking getting back with the same fucking lady that shot with the fucking head. He never told the police on her. So she never went to jail. My homeboy John Boy and Kia got married like a week later, bro. So put it where he got shot. Say he got shot Sunday, right? The next Sunday, he was on the block, right? The next Sunday after that, it was my homeboy in the wedding. On my mama, that nigga went to the wedding with the same lady that shot him in the head. They were slow dragging, dancing in the middle of the floor, and I got the motherfucking picture. So I got the picture. So you're gonna see that there's nothing wrong with this nigga. He got shot in the head 2 weeks prior, and he ended up back with the same fucking lady. I was fucking dying. Oh yeah, Kitty. Yeah, Kitty. Kitty say you can definitely do episodes about the trials of the music game before streaming. A lot of us young guys in the city remember y'all. I know, bro. I know. I could do that too. Yeah, where this day? Yeah, I told you, Kenny know it. Kenny, look, Kenny say hot, my boy. I'm telling you, everybody knew Hot Dog, bro. No, the lady didn't go to jail because he never told on her. Bro, that shit was crazy. I ain't never seen no shit like that. Bro, bro, that lady tried to kill him, dog. That nigga said, I'll be back on the block by next week. Man, on my mama, that nigga was on the block, bro. I'm talking about, okay, y'all gotta understand this, y'all. I'm gonna do a video, I'm gonna do a story on it, right? I got his picture and everything. Y'all gotta understand this, right? It's one thing. First of all, he got shot in the head. Like, listen, y'all ain't understand what I'm trying to tell y'all. She stood over him and shot him in the head. She didn't fucking like shoot him from long distance around a corner or some shit like that, or straight bullet and then no, she had one foot on the side of his ear. She had the other foot on the side of his other ear, and she stood over him and she shot him in the fucking forehead. Like, she shot him in the fucking forehead. No, they was beefing. They was arguing. They was like real toxic. But the thing was, I know the lady. Like, you know what I mean? Like the lady had she was talking to us, me, and I forgot who it was, but she was talking to us like a week prior. And she was saying, like, yeah, he be thinking he could keep putting his motherfucking hands on me. But he don't know that I killed my first husband. Swear on my mama, she said that shit. She say, my daughter's daddy, I killed that nigga. She like, he got the right motherfucking one. So, you know, we listened to the shit like, okay. I mean, I knew the lady. I mean, I believed in her. I didn't not believe her. She was like, she was older lady. She was probably like in her late 40s. You know, Hot Dog's probably like in his like late 40s to mid 40s, somewhere, probably like late 40s or something like that. I don't know how, I gotta figure out how old Hot Dog was. But anyway, they were much older than us. So they was the type, you know, they fight, but they drink too. You know what I'm saying? Neither one of them, I think she might have smoked a little weed. Hot Dog didn't do no drugs. Hot Dog didn't do no drugs. Oh, hold on, I'll take that back. Hot Dog, he did have started popping pills every now and then. He'll pop an X every now and then. But he really wasn't a drug addict. He really was an alcoholic. That motherfucker could drink. You know what I'm saying? And he liked to drink, and then he liked to argue, and he could fight. And he was big too. Hot Dog was like about 6'6", 6'6". I'm gonna say about a good 6'5", 6'6". But he was big though. Like Hot Dog probably about a good 260, 270 on a good day. You know, everything going good. Probably about a good 260. Yeah, and he could fight too. Like, oh, he'll love to fight. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. He'll shoot too. He'll do a little shoot every now and then. He'll do a little something. But he like to fight though. He can fight. He got that show to fight. But the lady was kind of like in that same built from that same cloth. She was kind of like she didn't like to fight. I actually liked it, the lady. I forgot what her name was, but I liked it, the lady. But she was not going for the bullshit. But she definitely was toxic too, because they would fight and argue all the time. Now, would it be like knockdown, drag out fights? I never seen a knockdown, drag out fight between them, but I done seen them go back and forth arguing. I never seen an actual violent fight between them. But she was telling us like it be getting violent. You know what I'm saying? And you know, we just listen to the shit. You know, man, you hear all kind of shit in the hood. You know, motherfucker be talking. If you stand around in the hood, you hear all kind of conversations. So it's like, okay, yeah, that shit kind of went in one end and went out the other. Shit, about a week later, they was over there fighting, whatever, arguing or something. Hey, he pulled the gun out on her, right? When he pulled the gun out on him, she pulled the gun out back on him. Check out this though, right? Check this shit out, right? Check this shit out. She on one side of the car, he on the other side of the car, right? They both got guns on each other across the roof of the car. You get what I'm saying? So he on one side, she on the other side. They got a standoff. It's them two. They got a standoff. He got the gun on her. She got a gun on him. Like, he didn't know she had a gun. I don't know. She probably knew he had a gun, but she had a gun on him. They got a standoff. They got a standoff, right? They talking shit to each other. It's like, bitch, whatever. They talking shit, but both of them got a guns at each other, right? The lady got 3 daughters, right? They older. They probably like late teens, early 20s, somewhere up in there. It's 3 of them, right? So Hot Dog and the lady arguing, right? But they got guns on each other. Neither one of them don't want to put the gun down, right? How about all you hear is pow, right? Hot Dog fall, right? He fall on the ground, right? Guess what happened, y'all? Guess what happened? I'm gonna guess what happened. Guess what happened though? All you heard is pow, pow. Guess what happened, y'all? Y'all never guess what happened. Y'all ain't gonna never guess what happened, right? Y'all think the lady shot him? No. The lady's daughter had a gun. She was standing behind Hot Dog. She shot Hot Dog in the hip. Bow, right? He fell. When he fell, bro, the lady ran around because the girl was standing behind Hot Dog. He didn't even know the girl had a gun. He got the girl mama with a gun. He got a gun in front of on the girl mama. He thinking he didn't even know. So not only is the mama a killer, the daughter a killer too. Listen, the daughter shot Hot Dog in the hip. Bow, right in the back, like he never knew it. He never turned around or nothing. She just shot him. Bow. Look, he fell on the ground, right? He fell on the ground. Check out what the mama do. This shit is hilarious, dog. When he fell on the ground, the mama ran around the car to Hot Dog's side, stood dead over him, and shot him one time in the forehead. Bow! And told the daughter, get in the car. Come on, let's go. Let's go. Listen. They took off. They gone. Hey, look, bro. Y'all can't hear me, dog. The lady ran. Listen, once the lady seen that her daughter had shot Hot Dog, she ran around the car, stood over him, and shot him in the motherfucking forehead. Bow! And told the daughter, come on, let's go. Let's go. Let's go. They jumped in the car. They go. Listen, I gotta give that lady credit, dog. That lady case is fuck. Bro, listen. She realized that once her daughter had shot that nigga, hey, listen. She realized once her daughter had shot this nigga, fuck that nigga. We finna kill it. I'm finna go and finish this nigga, and we out of here. Thelma and Louise, they was out of there, bro. Listen, the lady didn't have to shoot Hot Dog, bro. The daughter had already shot him. Man, that lady ran around that car on my mama, stood right over him, gave him one shot to the forehead. Bow! Told her daughter, come on, let's go, let's go. Listen, now imagine me. I had just heard this lady say she killed her first husband. So now I'm like, nigga, you know, me and my sister, we talking about the shit now. We like, nigga, she just told us that she killed her first husband. Oh shit, she wasn't bullshit. This lady for real. Like, this how we thinking. Like, we like, nigga, this lady dead ass. She for real. She real. She was real. She wasn't lying to us. Look, so check it out, right? Ambulance come on Jackson Street, get hot dog, right? So he got shot twice. He got shot in the hip. I'm telling you, bro. I'm telling you, shit funny as fuck, dog, bro. And if you knew hot dog, you'd be laughing too, dog. Listen, but he made it funny for what how he. I was listen. Let me finish that story. So he got shot in the hip, right, and then he got shot in the forehead, right. So the ambulance got him. They taking him away. That nigga say, I'll be back by next week. On my mama, that nigga was back. Listen, hold on. But before that, right? So he in the hospital, right? In the hospital. So Hot Dog got he got like a decent sized family. So his mama, his sisters, his brother, they hot. They upset. They want to find the lady. The mama want to put the police on the lady. The sisters want to look for, they looking for the lady. Everybody like in their little immediate family looking for the lady or whatever. But Hot Dog won't talk to the police. He ain't telling the police nothing. Listen, I forgot where she from, bro. I need to find out where she from, bro. I'm gonna call home and I'm gonna find out where she from, bro. But she's not from Orlando, definitely. She from somewhere else, dog. That's a good question, SLK. I mean, chicks. That's a good question. That's a good question. I'm gonna find out where she's from. I'm gonna make a phone call. But look, check this out, right? So Hot Dog won't tell the police. You know, he a G from the streets. He like, man, I ain't talking to nobody nothing. So the moment them mad, right? The moment them mad, and then ain't nobody on the block telling. Ain't nobody on the block telling what happened. Hot Dog ain't telling what happened. The lady she thinking she got a warrant. She thinking she on the run, but really she not really on the run because she might be from Inglewood on here, for real, bro. Oh, you talking? Oh, yes, SLK. Wait for okay, look, but she really not on the run because ain't nobody telling her. But in her mind, she on the run, right? So Hot Dog get out the hospital, right? That's that next Sunday. So that's when he on the block. So that's when it's everybody in awe that this nigga is alive. So what happened was she shot him with she had a small caliber handgun, bro. Either a 22 or a 25 or something like that. So when the bullet went in his forehead, it got stuck between his skin and his skull. So it never actually went into his skull. Maybe it's the angle that she shot him at, or maybe it was just that the small caliber bullet, but it went in his forehead. He shot the forehead, but it went up and under the skin. So it was large between the skin and his skull. So God bless that nigga. God was with that nigga, right? So look. The thing that made it even more like a movie, yo, is that once he got out of jail, he some kind of way found the lady. Listen, within a couple of days, it wasn't even a long time, bro. And they was back together within 3 days, bro, of him getting out the hospital, bro. They went to my homeboy wedding. I got the picture, y'all. So when I formally tell the story, I'm gonna record it and tell the story. I'm gonna put this picture up. I'm gonna put this picture with the lady hugged up. They dressed down. They dressed nice, and they hugged up. A week after she had done tried to kill it, shot him in the motherfucking head. Dog, nigga, I forgot that the daughter had shot him. So he got shot twice. Got shot in the hip and he got shot in the forehead. Yup, and he was back with the same lady, bro. That shit crazy. That's a true fucking story, bro. Presto Kenny know him. He know him. He know Hot Dog real good. So y'all know I ain't lying. He ended up getting killed though. He did end up getting killed. in another situation. So when I tell the story, when I tell the story of him, I'm gonna tell how he died too, and that's a story that y'all ain't heard or whatever. Because it's a mystery around how he died as well, and yeah, 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 man, shit be crazy in the hood though, dog. That nigga got shot in the head by his girlfriend and ended up back with her. That shit was crazy. Dog. Like, what the fuck? I don't think I don't, I ain't never seen no shit like that in real life, dog. That was definitely one of the wildest shits I ever fucking witnessed as a citizen of the hood. That was like, what? Get the fuck out of here, man. Let me see. I'm gonna think of a story I could tell y'all. I got a bunch of stories. Let me see. Let me see. I'm trying to think of an exclusive story that I can tell y'all. I got a bunch of them motherfuckers. I'm trying to think off the top of my head. I got the story about my homeboy, Lil Hot. Then I got the story of I don't want to tell C Murder story right now because it's a long story. I need to really. I'm gonna need a little minute to tell his story. And I'm gonna save his story. Who else story I got? Oh, okay. I can tell you the story of my homeboy Man Man and my cousin Scott Wheat, right? So I got a cousin named Scott Wheat, right? We call him Scott Wheat, like wheat, like the bread wheat. Scott Wheat. His name is Scotty, but we call him Scott Wheat, right? Scott Wheat is cross-eyed, y'all. When I mean cross-eyed, I mean he's cross-eyed, like cross-eyed than a motherfucker. Like I'm talking about, like put your nose on the thing on the end of your nose, like that kind of cross-eyed. But he a gangster though. You know what I'm saying? He got like he got a nice build on him. He real dark skinned. You know, he got like 16 goals in his mouth. But he a gangster though. Like for real, like like all jokes aside. And he a damn good hustler too, right? Damn good hustler, right? Um Scotty had went to jail for a long time. I can't remember how long it was, maybe 10 years or something. I think it was for oh yeah. He went to jail for shooting a dude. He did like 10 years, right? He got out. So when he got out, uh, everybody was happy that he was out. This is my blood cousin, y'all. Everybody's happy that he was out. He older than me though. He older than me. Scotty got to be about 10 years older than me. Probably about 10 years older than me. So, but he a gangster though. Like for real. Like he'll do it all. He'll fight, he'll shoot, and he get money. Like he'll hustler. Like I ain't talking about no he ain't no broke ass nigga. Like he gonna get him some money, right? So uh he got out and he got right back in the swing of things, man. I was actually amazed because a lot of times when guys go do a lot of time and they get out of jail, they be stuck in a time warp. They be stuck in whatever time that it was that they went to jail. They be stuck in that time. And a lot of them don't adapt very well to whatever be going on currently in the streets. But Scotty was different. Scotty, goddamn it, got right out and bossed up. He had like 2 or 3 traps. You know, I watched Scotty. I would slide through the hood and I would see Scotty on the block, on different blocks, talking to different niggas, and he'd be talking to niggas that he didn't even know before he went to jail. And but they be good niggas, those thorough niggas, hustlers and shit. But I would notice that Scotty used to be on the block talking to these different niggas. Like every day I ride through the hood, you might ride through, get some blunts today. You might go to the, McDonald's. You might go, well, I'm saying, as you going through the hood, like as you slide through the hood, I see Scotty on different blocks, like throughout the hood, like posted talking, conversating, you know what I'm saying? And I was amazed that he was actually tapping in with the people that he should be tapping in with. Like, cause I knew the niggas, cause I've been out. So I knew these niggas who he was talking to. But I was like, damn, how the fuck he know them? But let me tell you what Scotty was doing. Scotty was networking. He was moving around networking, and he was peeping who need what, who got what, who could be his customers or who could be potentially his plugs. And that's what he was doing. And he very quickly figured out who was a customer and who was not a customer. And he quickly figured out what he needed to sell in order to make him some money, and if he did, and where he needed to get it from, and who was the plug to get it from. And this happened very fast. I'm talking about within a good 6 months, Scotty was doing better than a lot of the dudes that had been out of jail the whole time that he was in jail. So I got another friend, I got another partner. His name was Man Man. Now, let me tell you about Man Man. Man Man was had one of the coldest set of hands I ever fucking seen. Listen, let me tell y'all something, bro. To this day, I don't know nobody ever whooped Man Man. And nobody in our hood know anybody that ever whooped Man Man. That's how good he could fight, right? But Man Man was a boss too. Man Man sold power. He sold power, right? That's what he sold. He ain't too much selling nothing else. He sold power. But he was a boss though. You know what I'm saying? He wasn't no broke nigga. Plus, he could fight. You know what I'm saying? Like, Man Man and Scotty was on the same level, pretty much. Pretty much. Man Man wasn't known to pack no pistols. But I'm saying he wasn't pussy by no shape or fashion. If you be honest with you, Man Man was more like a bully. Scotty wasn't a bully. Man Man was. Man Man was more like a bully or whatever. Right? But everybody loved it, Man Man. Like, I never had a bad interaction with Man Man. I loved it, Man Man, like a motherfucker. You know what I'm saying? Like, I never had a bad interaction with him, but Man Man would bully the big niggas. Like the niggas who was supposed to be bosses and gorillas and shit like that. Man Man would bully them. Like, he wouldn't fuck with us. You know what I'm saying? Like, I ain't never had no bad interaction with him. You know what I mean? I didn't even know he was a bully, to be honest with you, personally, until like people used to tell me shit that he used to be done did and and shit like that there. But he was. They say he was a bully, y'all, but I don't classify him as no bully, me personally, because he never walked around like that. Like, you had to get his time wrong. Like, he was more of just a regular guy. You know what I'm saying? But he could fight though, and everybody knew he could fight. So nobody fucked with him. Plus, he got money. You know what I'm saying? Like, he did the man respect though. Let me tell you something now. He definitely had an aura of, you can't play with him. You can't say anything to him. You better not say anything to him. You know what I'm saying? And that's how everybody kind of kept it with him. So rarely, I never see nobody get out of pocket with him, because it was like everybody knew, like, don't fuck with him. Don't say the wrong thing to him. And he ain't gonna fuck with you. He ain't gonna say the wrong thing to you. It's gonna be you're gonna have a normal interaction with Man Man, as long as you don't get too sporty. Once you get too sporty or get out of pocket, then you got hell on your hands, and ain't nobody gonna save you. You know what I'm saying? But I'm just trying not to paint him as a total bully, because I never seen him bully nobody, but I just only heard. You get what I'm saying? So I can't say he was a bully, but that's what people say. But anyway, I liked him a lot. You know what I'm saying? Me and him was cool. And him and Scotty started hanging out, right? Him and Scotty started hanging out, right? Now, Man Man had a trap too. Like I told you, Man Man got money too. Now don't get it twisted. Man Man got money too. Man Man might have been working with like a brick. You get what I'm saying? Like he wasn't no broke nigga. You get what I'm saying? Like Man Man had cars and shit like that too. And Scotty had a couple traps and shit too. I don't know if Scotty was working with a brick, but I know he was doing pretty good. He sold everything. You know what I'm saying? He sold pills, weed, hard. He sold everything. Scotty had a one-stop shop. He had a one-stop shop. You might go up in Scotty trap, and Scotty might got girls in that bitch naked. You know what I'm talking about? You know what I'm talking about? Like walk around that bitch naked. Swear to God, I'd be like, damn, cuz, what's going on? He like, cuz, we finna get into a little something as soon as you leave. He was like, cuz, we finna get into a little something as soon as you leave. You know what I'm talking about? He might slap the girl on the ass like, yeah, let my cuz see that. Let my cuz see that. He on the pills and shit. He like, let my cuz see that thing. You know what I'm talking? Like, damn, cuz, you got that thing swinging up in here, boy. You know what I'm talking about? So I buy my little trees from it, then I go about my business. But anyway, do y'all remember when Dwayne Wade won his first NBA championship? The first NBA championship Dwayne Wade won with the Miami Heat when they beat the Dallas Mavericks. This is the time, y'all. I want y'all to just go back to that time. If you was old enough, this is the time, right? So Man and Scotty was hanging together really, really tight, like best friends at this time, right? It was another dude that had got killed around this time. I think the dude was from like Carver Shores. I think he was from Carver Shores. If you know Carver Shores, that's where the rapper, what the name, Pootie from. The dude that got the little song Batman with Lil Wayne. He from Carver Shores. He from Orlando. He from Carver Shores. But the dude that got killed was from Carver Shores. But I didn't know the dude, but I knew his name. And evidently Man and Scotty knew the guy. So they went to the guy's funeral, right? Check this out, y'all. Check this out. I'm gonna bring this home. They went to the guy's funeral, right? So Scotty and my brother that just died, probably like 3 months ago. My older brother died 3 months ago. Scotty and my brother had a trap together as well, right? And Scotty accused my brother of stealing some of his product, right? So they was arguing about it. Now my brother got hands. My brother beat Scotty ass because my brother is the big cousin of Scotty. But Scotty ain't no hoe. That's what I told you. Scotty a whole gangster. Like for real. Like Scotty shoot all this shit. I told you they did like 10, 12 years for shooting a nigga. And him and my brother was arguing, right? So me and Man was standing outside, listening to them argue, right? So Man was like, man, why this man brought me around here and he finna be arguing with his cousin, man? Like, man, I ain't got time for this shit, man. Look. So me and Man are talking. Man was like, man, why is these niggas even going through this shit, man? They blood family, this and that. I'm like, man, I don't even know, dog. This and that, whatever, right? So anyway, make a long story short, Scotty ended up getting mad. He shot my brother car. My brother had a 72 Chevy Malibu that I ended up. No, I had it before him. I had the 72 Chevy Malibu before him, and I ended up selling it to him. I sold it to somebody, and they sold it to my brother. But anyway, my brother had fixed it up. You know what I'm saying? Made it real nice. Scotty shot that bitch with a pump shotgun. Boom, shot that bitch. Right? He mad because he just know his shit got stolen, and my brother was the only one that could have stolen it. Right? So anyway, Man and Scotty leave, right? So Man and Scotty had started betting on the NBA Finals. Dallas Mavericks, Miami Heat, right? Shaquille O'Neal was on that team too, if I'm not mistaken. So anyway, if you remember or not, Dallas was beating the shit out of Miami. I think it was like 2-0 or something like that. I think Dallas was up like 2-0, right? So Man was betting with the Dallas Mavericks, and I think it was betting $150 per game, right? So Man won the first one. Man won the second one. If I'm not mistaken, Miami won the third one. So when Miami won the third one, Scott Week was there with Miami. So Scott Week came and asked Man to give him his $150 because he had already lost $300 to Man because he lost the first two games. Dallas won the first two games. Man and Scotty got into it because Man didn't give Scotty his money. I don't know what the story was. Some people say Man kicked him out the house, told him get the fuck on out the house. I told you Man can fight, y'all. I told you he can fight now. Scotty can fight too. Do I think he can whoop Man? No. It'd have been a decent one now. But do I think he could have whooped Man? No, hell no. No, Man can fight just that good. And Man, I guess was at that one of them. That was one of them days where I told you he ain't scary. Like it's one of them, you know what I mean? And he kicked Scott out of the house, told him, I don't know if he told him he wasn't gonna pay him or something or whatever. I don't know, bro. Don't make me lie. I ain't gonna tell no lie now. But either way, he didn't give Scotty his money, right? And Scotty got mad, right? And Scotty left. Scotty left, feeling embarrassed. You know, I told you, Scotty a whole gangster. He a whole gangster. Plus, he had done lost already to Man $300. And Man got money. It ain't like he had the money. He got the money. Maybe he was just mad that, you know, Scotty might have went around there talking shit or, you know, because it's a you know, basketball game. Scotty might have been talking shit. I don't know. But either way, he didn't pay Scotty. And Scotty... And they say he kicked him out the house, like when he was asking him to give him his money, because Scotty went to Man house to get the money. And he kicked him out the house in front of people too. You know, that shit go in front of a crowd. So he ended up leaving and went and got a gun. And I'm telling you the story because he already in jail, dog. He don't try to get appeals and all that shit. And none of that shit ain't work. Plus, I done talked to him too a couple times. So, you know what I mean? Allegedly, this is what happened. And he came back. He came back with a gun. And he told Man, give my motherfucking money. He put the gun out on Man. He told Man, hey, man, you gonna get my motherfucking money. $150, y'all. I wasn't there. I don't know. But word is, Man swung on him. While he had a gun in his hand. I guess you know. Say Scotty went to shoot. Pow, 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 pow. Killed him right there. Killed him right there in the middle of the street. Now these two dudes was hanging with each other a week prior. A week prior. That shit fucked the hood up, bro. When that shit happened right there, that shit fucked the hood up because it kind of divided the hood. Because being that they was arguing over something so petty, it was people that felt like Scotty didn't have to shoot Man about that. And it was people that felt like Man should have paid Scotty his money. It was just so petty. Like, and we lost one of our heroes. Like Man was one of our like hood heroes. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I had a lot of love for Man, but Scotty's my cousin too. So it was like, I was like in the middle. Like, you know what I mean? Like, damn, like he killed Man. Like, but then when you hear the story, it's like, why Man just take care of $150? But then when you hear the story, it's like, why Scotty killed him by $150? You know what I'm saying? It's like, damn, like, you know what I'm saying? You get what I'm saying? So it's like, no, Scotty killed Man. Scotty killed Man. He killed him. Allegedly. He killed him. And he caught life. He doing life right now. I talked to him on the phone a couple times. When I first used to talk to him, he used to be, you know, upbeat and happy, you know, telling me, you know, it's just what it is. And you know, he good and you know he's strong. Shit. The last time I talked to that nigga was talking like how I be talking on this channel. That nigga said, man, cuz, let me tell you something, man. Don't never get caught up in that where you throw your life away, for not thinking, man. Make sure you think through your situations, and cause don't be throwing your life. That nigga trying to talk some positive shit to me last time I was on the phone with his ass. So that let me know that shit was getting to him. The realization that he probably gonna die in that bitch. You feel me? The realization that he's probably gonna die in there. That he's never gonna get out of that shit. Do you understand what I'm saying? Man, I'm telling you, Scotty killed him, allegedly. And hey, look, but I'm gonna tell you something that happened though. I wanna tell y'all something that happened though. Do y'all remember that championship football game that Jameis Winston them won the national championship? In the comment section, if y'all remember that national college championship where Jameis Winston won the national championship. I ain't gonna fit to tell the story to y'all. Tell me y'all remember or not. Y'all remember when Jameis Winston from Florida State? Y'all remember the last championship Florida State won? I'm gonna tell y'all a fun fact to this story. Okay, I know what I'm gonna do. I got y'all. Right here. Right, hold on. Look, I'm finna show y'all something, right? I'm finna show y'all something. Hold on. I'm finna show y'all something. Slick Puller say, of course. I'm finna show you man son, Slick Puller. Check this out. He won a national championship with Jameis Winston. This is him. You're gonna remember this play. This is one of the most memorable plays of the game. This is him.
Kick into the end zone, and the Seminoles are going to bring it out. This is Kermit Whitfield to the left side, a hole to the 30, 35. Yeah! Whitfield to the 50, to the 40, Kermit Whitfield to the 30, to the 20, 15, 10, 5, touchdown FSU. Kermit Whitfield, a 100-yard touchdown, 430.
That's man's son right there, y'all. That's his son right there. He was dead by the time this happened, but that's his son. That's his son. That's his junior. That's his son right there. He won the national championship. You remember not that play changed the tide of the game right there. Yeah, so the whole hood was so happy. It was sad that he wasn't there to see it. But yeah, this is man's son right here.
Kermit Whitfield. 26-24.
Yep, that was his son, y'all.
We'll find out. Tucker's kick into the end zone, and the Seminoles are going to bring it out. This is Kermit Whitfield to the left side, a hole to the 30, 35. Yeah! Whitfield to the 50, to the 40, Kermit Whitfield to the 30, to the 20, 15, 10, 5, touchdown FSU. Kermit Whitfield, a 100-yard touchdown, 4:31 to go in the Noles lead. Kermit Whitfield. 26-24.
Yeah. So that right there kind of made it. That right there kind of made it like, the whole hood was with him when he was running that play, bro. I swear to God, bro. The whole hood was with him, bro, because he had lost his daddy. You know what I'm saying? And this is a national championship. And he always was good at football. We always knew, you know what I'm saying? He always was raw as a kid, growing up, everything. And he got to do that in the national championship. He won a national championship with Jameis Winston, Dalvin Cook. What's the motherfucking name? What that motherfucking name? The wide receiver they had. I forgot. They had 2-3 good wide receivers on that team. Your boy was on that team. What's the big what's the big tight end name, man? What's the big tight end end up going to Carolina. Him and Cam Newton were beefing. Damn, I forgot his name. But anyway, that team was stacked. That team was stacked. Yeah, man. I'm gonna get off this thing though, man. I'm gonna get off this thing because I really got off of work at 11. I really ain't been to sleep, and I gotta go back to work at I gotta leave here like 5:30. Yeah, like 6. So I'm gonna get me a little couple hours of sleep, y'all, man. Rest of heaven, the hot dog. Rest of heaven, the man. Um, yeah, man. Shit be crazy in the hood, y'all. Shit be crazy in the hood. I don't know what's up with this Young Thug hearing, but I can't keep waiting on it, man. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to Slick Puller, man. Shout out to Presto Kenny. Shout out Chicks 1000. I would say your name, bro, but I don't know how to say your name. KYYNGG. Shout out to you. Shout out to Estelle Ashley. Shout out to SLK. Get me a little couple hours before I gotta go back to work, man. Shout out to Marcus Cunningham. Hey man, I appreciate y'all. Hit that like button, man. Listen, man. If y'all want to become a member of the Squiddy, man, just go to the homepage and click membership, man. I appreciate it, man. It's gonna be, you're gonna get to come up on the panel. It's gonna be other exclusive stuff that I put up here for only members only, man. So it's only like $3 or $4, man. So just go on and click the thing, man. Become a member. Follow me on Instagram. It's MeritaBoy1, MERITABOY1, the number 1, MERITABOY, the number 1, MeritaBoy1. Like, share, comment to this video. Let me know how y'all like the stories. I got a bunch of more stories, y'all. Let me know if y'all want to hear me tell some more stories, man. I got a bunch of stories to tell, bro. You know what I'm saying? So if you want me to tell more stories, get in the comment section and let me know that you enjoy the stories and that you would like for me to tell more of the stories about the people that I knew in the hood and what happened to them, and the things that that I saw since I've been living in the hood and stuff like that. So if y'all like them stories, man, get in the comment section and let me know if y'all want to hear more of those stories, man. I'll be glad to tell them. I mean, somebody got to tell them. I mean, in a way, y'all can use it for you know what I mean, like cautionary tales, and it's also keeping those people's memories alive. You know what I'm saying? I'm telling these people life stories to people all across the world. So you know, it's cool, man. It's cool, man. Somebody got to tell the story. I'm sure that they would be happy to know that people are hearing about them all still, even after their death. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, man. Like, share, comment to this video. I would appreciate it.